Hello everyone, welcome back to my classroom. Today we are going to see analysis of frames. So what is a frame? A structure is called a frame if at least one of its individual members is a multiforce member. A multiforce member is the one with three or more forces acting on it, or it has two or more forces and one or two moments acting on it. So this is a multiforce member. Frames are structures which are designed to support applied loads and are usually fixed in position. So what is the example of a frame is the RCC building that we usually observe in and around us. So you can also define the frame as the combination of beam, column and slab used to resist the lateral and gravity loads. So these structures are usually used to overcome the large movements developing due to the applied loads. Applied loads, that is the gravity loads, that is the dead load or live load which is acting on the slab, and the loads from the slab are transferred to the beams and from the beams to the columns. So this combination of slab, beams and columns is nothing but a frame. So today we are going to analyze what is a frame. Now let us see what are the characteristics of a frame. It supports the loads. It is usually stationary and fully constrained. Usually stationary, fully constrained. There is no translation or rotation, and it is supported by different types of supports at the ends. Not all the forces are directed along the members as in a truss. Now, as we have seen in the previous classroom on analysis of trusses, we have seen that the members of a truss are either two force member or three force member. So the frames, they carry a multi-force system of forces, either two or three forces with one or two movements, or all forces acting on the members of the frame. So this is the example of a frame. You can see forces are act in the first figure. You can see all three forces are acting. In the second figure, two forces with one movement are applied on the member of a frame. So next we'll see what are the steps to analyze the frame. First step, draw the FBD of the entire frame structure without separating the frame. Step number two, apply all the three conditions of equilibrium, that is summation fx, summation fy, summation of movement equal to 0 to the entire frame structure, and calculate and find out the magnitudes of the support reactions. In the next step, we need to isolate the frame which is connected at the internal pins and draw the free body diagram of the each multi-force member separately by assuming equal and opposite reaction components at the common points. Next, we have to apply all the three conditions of equilibrium to each multi-force member, starting with summation of moment equal to 0 at the point through which it is connected, that is at the internal pins or internal hinge. Next, after analyzing the frame, finally we need to draw the uh, final FBD for each member separately with correct magnitudes and directions. That means we need to represent the magnitudes and directions at the internal pins as well as at the support reactions. Next, let us see one example of a frame. So determine the components of the forces acting on each member of the frame as shown. So there is a A frame, A shaped frame, and we can observe that at support E there is a hinge support provided, and at the F support there is a roller support provided, and there is only one single force, 2400 Newton, acting on the member BCD. So our first step will be to draw the FBD of the entire frame and find out the support reactions generated at point E and F. Then we need to isolate the member. So this is the free body diagram of the frame, and over here you can see we have assumed the directions of Ex and Ey to act in the positive X and in the positive Y direction respectively. As at point F we have a roller support and it is resting on the horizontal surface, so a reaction is generated in the vertical direction. In the next part of the problem, we need to isolate the members at the internal hinges, that is at point B, A and at C. Then we need to apply all the three conditions of equilibrium separately to all these members. So firstly we'll find out the support reactions generated. Now in the diagram over here we have dismantled or isolated the members of the frame as BCD, AE and AF. Firstly, we have to find out the support reactions. As you can see, we have applied moment equation at point E, and from that we can find out the support reaction developed at point F as 1800 Newton. Since we get the value of this reaction positive, which implies that our assumption is correct and this force is acting in the upward direction. Next, we'll apply summation Fy equation. From this, we get Ey is equal to 600 Newton. Again, we get a positive value, which implies our assumption is correct. Ey is also acting in the upward direction. Next, by applying summation Fx, we get the value of Ex equal to 0. So in this way, we have completed the first part of the problem by applying all the conditions of equilibrium on the entire frame, and we have found the support reactions. Next, we have to isolate the members and separately apply conditions of equilibrium on all the members. Now, over here you can observe the member BCD, in which we have shown the directions of Bx and By to act in the negative X and in the negative Y direction. Whereas when we observe member AE, we can see that Bx and By, they are acting in positive X and positive Y direction, so that when we rejoin the members, the member or the entire frame should be in equilibrium. Next, from the free body diagram of BCD, we had concluded Bx is equal to Cx. Now substituting the value of Bx in this equation, we get the value of Cx equal to 0. Now we have found out all the internal hinge or support reactions, that is Bx, By, Cx, Cy, Ax and Ay. Now we can check whatever value that we have got from the previous equations by applying the moment equation at point C equal to 0 in the member ACF, and from this we get summation of moment equal to 0, which implies that the member ACF is in equilibrium. Hence, in this way we have found all the internal support reactions by applying conditions of equilibrium separately to all the members of the frame. And lastly, we have represented the final FBD showing all the internal reactions, support reactions that we have found. Let us move to the next point, that is analysis of a frame which is non-rigid. If a structure is not a rigid unit by itself but depends on the external supports for the rigidity, then the calculation of external support members cannot be completed until the structure is dismembered. Now, as we can observe in this figure, ACB is the member which is supported at the ends by a hinge support at A and B. So this member depends on the external supports for its rigidity. Let us say if there was a roller support at point B, then due to the roller support, the whole member ACB would not have been in equilibrium, as due to the translation or the roller support provided at B, there would have been translation at point B. Hence, it would have made the structure unstable. So, if there is such a structure which is dependent on the external supports for its rigidity, then for such a member, we need to isolate or dismember the structure at the internal pins, and then analyze the members of that frame separately by applying all the conditions of equilibrium. Now, what is the change in this and the previous example that we have seen? As you can see from the free body diagram, there are hinge supports provided at A and B. So we have total 4 unknown, and we have only 3 conditions of equilibrium to analyze the frame. So what we need to do over here, we need to isolate or dismantle the frame at the internal pin at C. So which takes our total of unknown member forces to 6. That is AXAY, BXBY, CX and CY. So now we have 6 number of unknowns, and by analyzing the member separately, we have 6 conditions of equilibrium. That is 3 conditions for the member AC and 3 conditions for the member CB. So in this way only we can analyze this type of frame. So let us see one example on the same. For the frame and the loading as shown, we have to calculate the reactions generated at the supports A and E. In the figure, you can observe a horizontal member AC which is supported by a cantilever support at A, and there is a member BDE which is hinge supported at E, and it is joint or it is resting on the horizontal member AC. So as the first step of analysis is that we need to draw the free body diagram of the entire frame and apply conditions of equilibrium to the entire frame. So from the free body diagram we can see that we have more number of unknowns, AXAY and the moment at A plus EX and EY, that is total 5 number of unknowns, and we have only 3 conditions of equilibrium. So we cannot analyze the entire frame and calculate the support reactions. So firstly we need to dismember or dismantle the frame and then apply all the 3 conditions of equilibrium separately on the members to analyze the frame. So let us see. Now over here you can see we have firstly dismembered and we have drawn the free body diagram of both the members. As at point B we have a roller support, so due to that a contact reaction will be generated, and now we need to analyze them separately. So which member should we analyze first, AC or BDE? We will firstly analyze BDE, as in this member we have only 3 number of unknowns, that is EX, EY and RB, and for analyzing the same we have 3 conditions of equilibrium. Apart from this, if we firstly try to analyze the member AC, then it is not possible, as we have 4 unknown member forces, AXAY, moment at A and the reaction at B. So firstly we will analyze the member BDE, and by applying summation Fx equation we get the value of Ex as minus 30. Now this minus 30 implies that Ex force is acting in the negative x direction. Next we will apply summation Fy equation, and from that we get the value of we get the equation as Rb plus REY minus 4 by 5 into 50. Now 50 kilonewton force is an inclined force which is acting at point D, and it is acting over the triangle 3 4 5 triangle. So instead of calculating the inclination theta, we have simply taken 4 by 5, that is the value of cos, and multiplied it to 50, which will give us the component of this force along x-axis. And keeping this equation as it is, now we'll calculate the moment about point D. Through this, we will get the value of REY as 0, and by substituting in the Fy equation, we'll get the value of RB as 40. So we have assumed RB to act in the upward direction for the member BDE, and we get the value of RB as positive, which implies that our assumption is correct. Now we will analyze the member AC. Over here, as we have already calculated the unknown member force at B, so we'll substitute the value of RB over here, and we'll firstly calculate moment about point A. Through this, we get the value of moment A, that is the resisting moment at A, as 7.2 Newton meter. Now we have converted the dimensions 30 mm, 18 mm into meters by dividing it by 1000. Now, as I said, the positive sign indicates that our assumption is correct, and the moment MA is acting in the clockwise sense. So by applying summation fx, we get the value of ax as 0, and by applying summation fy, also we get the value of ay as 0, as the value of RB is 40 kilonewton, and there is an external force which is acting at C, and the magnitude of that force is also 40. So we get the value of ay or RAY equal to 0. Now at the end, we need to draw the free body diagram representing all the internal member forces, and this will end our solution over here.